Welcome to VisionCast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VisionCast number 3, the official podcast of RangerVision.com. I am Kurama and owner. Ladies and gentlemen, with me today I have the head administrator, Gold Phoenix Ranger.
How you doing, everybody?
I have moderator, King of Spades.
Yo, what up, Power Rizzles?
I have moderator online.
Hello, everyone.
And
I'm the guy from the theme song.
And I have member Hakumen.
Oh, bloody hell. Yes, I'm here, again. Bow down to me, bitches.
You might better know as the Peg of the infamous journal.
And you may also
God.
know, as the guy the Simon theme is named after.
Oh god, please, no.
And we also have member Geeky Girl. Is it really 13?
15.
Yes.
15.
15.
15, that's what I thought. What
Hello.
is Dennis?
Now, don't
Ladies
yell
and
at your super
gentlemen.
moderators for giving you inaccurate information. It happens.
Yeah. With the introductions out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we will move on to the news with Gold Phoenix Ranger.
Oh my god, really? You're gonna let him do it? We're gonna be bored shitless.
And thank you, Kurama. We do have quite a bit of news in all three of our typical news categories this week, so let's go on and get right into it here. The first item I'd like to bring up is the new board rules of Ranger Vision. The staff at large have gone through and reevaluated the board rules in order to streamline them and make them a little easier both for the members to follow and for the staff to enforce. We ran into some problems with the old rules where we attempted to cover absolutely every possible contingency for anything that could happen, and it made them very bulky and very unwieldy and hard to work with. So, in an effort to, prevent that from happening in the future, we've written the new rules in such a way that they are general enough that they can be enforced and interpreted as the staff sees fit, so that we don't need every little thing covered. I will take this opportunity to state for the benefit of the members that are listening, who may or may not have read my thread that I did post in the Angel Grove Times regarding the new rules, that the staff will not be nitpicking specific things of, is this in the rules, is this not in the rules anymore. If the staff feels it's something that should not be happening, it will be infracted or warned, depending on level. Banning if absolutely necessary. If it's something that, we feel is common sense that we shouldn't need to write down, we may enforce things that are not necessarily specifically written in the rules. Because there are certain things like, treating other members with respect and posting inappropriate things that we shouldn't have to write down in rules. I mean, granted, we may be a board based on a children's show, but everybody pretty much knows that the majority of the members are of more than enough of an age that we shouldn't have to treat you like children. So, with that said, we will be enforcing the rules fairly in such a way that everybody is treated equally, regardless of violation, who it is, anything like that. Everybody will be treated equally. And I encourage, if anybody feels that they are being discriminated against by a staff member, please let I or Kurama know, and we will certainly look into it. The second thing I'd like to mention on the news list is that we do have a new Ultimate Tournament available for you to vote in each and every week here on Ranger Vision, and this time it is the Ultimate Megazord Tournament. You can check the announcements on the main page of the forum to see what the current battles that you can vote in are. There's 2 every week. And you can also see the full brackets and information about all the Megazords that are entered in the contest down in the Trials of Maranthius area, specifically the Ultimate Tournament subforum. So do check that out as well. Each and every week there will be 2 new battles, and we will whittle this down to each determine the Ultimate Megazord. We do ask that when you're voting, please think of the Megazords in that. Vote for the one that you would like to, or that you think would win a battle between the 2, not the one that you like the best. That is how we are encouraging members to vote, so please do so. The third thing I'd like to mention is that we do have some new skins available on the board. As was noted by some people on the board, you might have noticed, is that we have a new Go-Go Megaforce skin. That is a secondary Megaforce skin in addition to the currently default Megaforce skin, both of which are great. Check those out. We also have a new skin dedicated to our good friend here, Hakumen. That skin is called Simon. Do check that out. And we also have a skin that is called Not Matt, dedicated to one of our favorite super moderators, Crimson Ranger. So do check all those skins out. They are available. They're pretty cool. And again, if you have any suggestions for new skins, or if you've created banners that you think would look good on skins, please contact Technical Administrator Anna High, and she can look into that. The fourth thing to mention is our RPG section is going to be having a few changes forthcoming. Specifically in relation to the streamlined and updated board rules, a committee of RPG-related staff members have gone through and streamlined and updated the RPG rules as well. These new rules are not public just yet, as we're still tweaking them slightly, but they will go into effect soon, and a notice will be posted to let everyone know when they go into effect. Please keep an eye out for that. There won't be a lot of drastic changes, but it will be in such a way that the RPG GMs have a little more authority and ability to control their respective games without the staff having to step in unless necessary. In relation to the GMs, we're also working on a general manager, game master, general manager, whatever you consider it to be referring to, guide for essentially how to run an RPG. Now, this is not a you must do this to run an RPG on Range Vision guide by any means. This is more these are some things we think you should consider when making a game in order to make it the best possible game. You don't have to listen to all of what we say. You don't have to listen to everything we say. You don't have to listen to anything we say. But we do encourage you to at least peruse that when that is available. That is coming from Super Moderator Raging Phoenix, who is one of the most experienced role players on the board. So we do thank him for working on that. And again, there will be a notice when that becomes available. That will be posted in the RPG section. The final thing in relation to board news is that, per our illustrious board owner, Kurama, there will be changes to the user titles currently, I should say user ranks currently on the board. For example, you might know that we administrators are currently known as Eltarians. The super moderators are Sumerians. The regular moderators are Syrians, etc. All the current titles are based on the names of various alien species in the Power Rangers universe. We've come up with some ideas for new titles to better streamline that a little bit and to make them make more sense, especially the user titles for the VIP users, because the diamond, white, titanium thing was a little confusing as to which one outranks the others. So that'll be streamlined in such a way that it's very easy to understand, and that will include new user rank banners, those little pictures that appear under your name, as well as new font colors for your username in the various places of the board. That is not in effect yet. We've commissioned someone to work on the banners for us for the user titles. That is one of our great graphic artists here on the board, Gosei Manta. And he is working on that for us. And once we have those wonderful banners, we will be updating the user titles. And again, a notice will be posted in regards to that to help everyone better understand the new titles and where they fall on the rank. And we do hope everybody likes some of the new titles we came up with. They are still Power Rangers related, just in case you were worried about that. But they're different from what we have now. And I think they're a little more fun. So do stay tuned for that. With the board news section over, we're going to move on to the Power Rangers news. We have had some good things coming out the last few weeks. The first thing is that not this past Monday, but on Monday, February the 11th, the 20 Red Rangers, and yes, it was 20 Red Rangers. I don't believe the White Ranger was with them, the White Tiger Ranger of MMPR. But the 20 Red Rangers went to New York City, and they went all around the city visiting a bunch of different events in honor of the 20th anniversary. They showed up at the Javits Center in Manhattan, where the New York International Toy Fair is currently in effect, and where a lot of awesome new Megaforce toys have premiered. If you'd like to learn more about that, do check out our merchandise area. We'll have some good information about the toys down there. They also stopped by Lincoln Center for Fashion Week. They also went to Times Square, which was cool, and they had some Starbucks coffee and Lombardi's pizza for lunch, which was fun. They stopped by Wall Street for a little while, and they wrapped up their day by shooting some hoops with New York Knicks shooting guard J.R. Smith, which was pretty cool. If you go online, a little Google search, you can find some great videos of all those events out there. Looked like a lot of fun. They also had an awesome tour bus that they were riding around in that had all the Red Rangers painted on the side. And again, pictures of that are available in various places on the internet. You can find those. The second thing to mention for Power Rangers news, and this is pretty cool, is that the official press release came out from Saban Brands and the USAopoly Company that 20th anniversary Power Ranger versions of both Monopoly and Trivial Pursuit are currently in development to be released sometime this summer. The Monopoly game had already been semi-announced due to the Power Rangers YouTube account running a vote to determine the final playing piece of the game. The choices that were given out were Goldar, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers boots, and an Angel Grove Juice Bar cup. Fans were able to vote on that on Facebook for a period of time, and the winner of that voting determined the last piece, as well as the other 5 pieces' identities will be revealed on Facebook at some point closer to the release of the game. The Trivial Pursuit game is particularly unique in that, as a member of the Power Force, I was one of the wonderful Power Force members that got to help submit questions for the game. We all had different seasons we submitted questions for. We were able to throw in unique questions we thought would fit in other areas, and we really all tried to put in our all to get good fan-based questions in the game. Before anybody's worried about, what did they do? Spawn Brands does have fact checkers. They did make sure that all our questions were accurate, up to date, and that all the questions that went in the game, we don't know which ones were finally chosen out of ours, if they were all or if they were all were not used. We don't know. But they were all fact-checked, and it should be a pretty good game covering all 20 seasons of Power Rangers. A variety of questions from all. Should be a lot of fun. Both those games, as I said, are releasing sometime this summer. They will have a retail price of approximately $39.99 US dollars each. So do stay tuned for those. You can pre-order those online at various places when they become available. They did say they will take pre-orders for that, so stay tuned for that. Number 3 in Power Rangers news is that the Power Rangers Megaforce episodes, as well as Samurai and Super Samurai episodes, are now available on Hulu. So if you missed any Samurai, Super Samurai you want to catch up on, or if you didn't get to see the newest Power Rangers Megaforce episode on a given Saturday, they are available the following day on Hulu.com. Just head over to Hulu.com, type in Megaforce, it'll pop right up for you. So do check those out. The episodes are still posted on Nick.com as well. You can find them there. I'm not sure if those are posted at the same time as the Hulu videos or if those were a little later, but they are available in both places within a few days of the episode airing. So if you missed Megaforce, and I guess I should say are in the United States, you can see the episodes there. Unfortunately, they tend to have them region locked for international viewers. So I'm afraid you'll have to sort of wait until such a time as the show starts airing over there. I do apologize, but unfortunately that's the way they do those things. The final thing to mention in Power Rangers news is that if you haven't checked it out yet, www.powerrangers.com, the official website of Power Rangers as run by Saban Brands, has been completely updated and revamped with a new format, a new look, and some changes to the tabs and the way things are laid out. So do check that out. It looks really awesome. There's heavy promotion of Megaforce. There's a lot of cool 20th anniversary stuff on there. You can get Rangergrams to send to people. There's a list of all the members of the Power Force, in case you were wondering who, besides yours truly, was a member. You can check out that list. Some simple little videos, things like that. A lot of great stuff on there. There's links to a lot of different Power Rangers games from over the years, most of which are on Nick.com. But you can see a lot of Power Rangers games all the way back to Dino Thunder, I think. There's a lot of games on there. So do check all those out. New website looks good. I fully support it. The final category to talk about is, of course, the Sentai Tokusatsu news. Not as much news in this section as some of the others, but one thing that's certainly worth mentioning is that the brand new Sentai season, Zuden Sentai Koryuger, premiered this past weekend, specifically on Saturday, with episode 1 entitled He's Here, the Bright Red King. So that's pretty cool. I have not had a chance to find any subs of it yet to watch it, but I know Kurama and some of the other staff did, and it got some good repertoire from what I heard. So do check that out if you get a chance. I know the Japanese episode is available online currently. I don't think a sub is out yet, but it should be forthcoming fairly soon. The other thing to mention is that for those of you who are Kamen Rider fans, Kamen Rider Wizards Infinity Style and Beast Hyper Style have been revealed. You can find pictures of those available online, possibly in our Kamen Rider Wizard thread or anywhere in our Lost in Translation section, so do check that out. And in addition, in the this past episode of Kamen Rider Wizard, they revealed his all dragon style. So a lot of new styles coming out. I believe the Infinity is stated to be his ultimate form, and I saw the picture. It looks pretty badass. I'm not a big Kamen Rider fan. I'll admit that. I don't know much about Kamen Rider, but the suit looks pretty badass, and check it out. I support it. So overall, that is all the news that's fit to, I guess I shouldn't say print, but read. So with that said, I will throw it back to our illustrious board owner Kurama for the next segment of the podcast.
Thank you for that news, Gold Phoenix Ranger.
Anytime.
Hallelujah.
And pause for editing.
Woohoo!
Alright,
Yay!
ladies and gentlemen, we will now be moving on to our roleplay fan fiction section of the podcast.
This is the part where you turn away.
With this podcast, we will be highlighting the Mystic Spirit Rangers, written by Jacob Hart.
Who?
So, Gold Phoenix Ranger, take us away.
Kill me now.
No, we'd rather see you suffer later.
Oh, thanks.
No, you guys, different type of roleplay.
Spades.
Episode 1, The Mystics Revealed. Pilot, Part 1. Time, story begins approximately November of 2006. It was good to be home. Years living on another planet had been fun and interesting, but nothing beat Angel Grove. This was his home. A city that had seen its share of beauty and sadness. He remembered the time that he had to leave. He had acquired some type of illness that was fatal on Earth and had to be transported to the planet of Aquitar. There, he worked on a cure. It took him 5 years, but he finally made it. Billy Cranston returned to Earth 6 months earlier at the request of Project Genesis, a secret organization commissioned to protect the planet and be as quiet about it as possible. As a former ranger himself, he knew of the darkness that would one day come to Angel Grove. There was a darkness so evil lying under the ground in this peaceful city that if it ever woke up, it would take the strongest rangers alive to fight it. Rangers that had trained their entire lives for this moment. Scene break. Are you really going to sit there and not talk the entire way to Angel Grove? There was no answer. Jessica Hart was fed up with her twin brother. He'd done nothing but sulk the entire trip. Look, I know you didn't want to come here, but this is what we've trained for our entire lives, Jacob. We have to do this. Still no answer. Jacob didn't want to upset his sister. It was exactly the opposite. He knew if he told his twin anything, she would realize how much pain he was in. He chose to keep that to himself. It had been a long journey from Genesis to his old home of Angel Grove, and Jacob did not know if he was ready for what stood in front of him. Even more so, he wasn't sure if he could handle what he'd left behind. The twins were 21. Older than the usual Rangers, but nothing about them was ordinary. They'd left Angel Grove 12 years earlier to begin their training. Now they were the strongest A-level cadets at Project Genesis. They pulled up to an old abandoned building in the industrial part of town. After climbing the 2 flights of stairs, they saw a very large man in front of a doorway. He opened the door and they walked inside. "Do you think he's really here?" Jessica whispered. "That's what the commander told us," Jacob answered. I assume you're talking about me." The twins turned to see Billy reveal himself from the shadows. It had been so long since they had seen each other. Billy had been like a big brother to both of them when they were younger. "I wish we had time to catch up, but I'm afraid we aren't allowed that option. Come take a look at this." Billy pulled the remote control out of his pocket and clicked a button. What seemed to be a rundown room turned into a state-of-the-art facility. On the screen before them, they saw strange readings coming from the ocean just 20 miles away. Before their eyes, they saw Before their eyes, they saw the reading continue to rise. The ground began to tremble and then shake. The volcanic activity continued as this landmass formed in the ocean. To the naked eye, a strange phenomena, but to these three, something destined to happen. "It was just like the book said it would happen," Jesse suggested. "Yes," Billy agreed, "and we have no time to waste. These are for you." He handed them a wristwatch that looked very familiar. "Don't take these off. Ever. They will keep you in communication. I trust that you have the gems, Jacob?" Jacob nodded. "Yeah, you have no idea what I went through to get these." Billy opened the box, and inside sat 6 gemstones. Red, yellow, blue, pink, white, and black. "So, Which one is mine? Jacob asked anxiously. Billy raised an eyebrow. The gems choose their owners. Raise your wrists toward the gems. The twins did as instructed. Very quickly, the pink gem chose Jessie, and she instantly felt the ranger powers enter her body. Jacob had closed his eyes, but nothing happened. 3 gems lay dormant, but 2 were violently shaking. It was almost as if they were fighting over him. Jacob watched as the red and white gems knocked against each other before he was finally thrown back against the wall. He instantly felt the power enter him. He stood to see that the red gem remained in the box. Jessie opened her palm to see the pink gem there. Disappointed, Jacob opened his and saw the white gem. The gems floated over to the wristwatches and were absorbed into them. This watch now contained the power. Billy closed the box container. It is now my job to find 4 to battle alongside you. Wait here until you are called for. It is very important that our enemies not know that you are here quite yet. I'll see you soon. With that, he left the room and the Twin Rangers behind.
Billy had already spotted the 4 that would join the twins. He actually had to admire the irony of it. But after the 2 months in Angel Grove he'd spent preparing for this moment, he really had no doubts. Project Genesis brought this large mansion at the top of the hill in Angel Grove. It had been empty for 5 years. As Billy walked inside it, he admired how it looked, normal to everyone that would enter, where his house was anything but normal. Decker, I'm home! Good evening, Billy. What time is it? It's currently 2:25 in the afternoon. You have an appointment in 5 minutes. Thank you, Decker. It would probably be a good idea for you to not talk to anyone, or answer any questions until I tell you the coast is clear, okay? Okay. Affirmative. Shutting down system now. Will awaken on your voice command. Good night, Billy. Good night, Decker. Timing could not have been more perfect. Billy heard the doorbell ring. Walking to the door, he knew who would be at the other side. He could not help but be excited that this moment had finally arrived. The powers had finally come full circle. He opened the door, and there, standing in front of him, were 4 people who had no clue that walking through this door would change their lives forever. Welcome, guys. I'm glad you guys. Welcome, guys. I'm glad you could come over and finally see my new place. Come in. As he greeted each one, he thought the backstory for each. The first to enter was Philip Scott. Billy did not remember Philip that well, but was very close to his older brother Jason. When Jason and his family moved for him to join the Youth World Summit, Philip was very young. Truth be told, Jason and Billy weren't that close. He was much closer to the girls, Kimberly and Trini. Which is how he knew the next beautiful girl that walked into his home. Callie Kwan grew up to look more and more like her big sister Trini every day. Callie was much more of a girly girl than Trini, but he knew that she'd be trained in martial arts since she was very young. Dante was nothing like his brother. He was quiet and reserved. Zack, on the other hand, was always loud and never afraid that he would look stupid. Dante enjoyed a lot of the same things his brother liked, but lacked the same self-confidence. Zack moved to Europe over 5 years ago, and the two never kept in contact. Billy hated the fact Dante felt left out. Then Billy came face to face with the last of the foursome, the person that resented him for leaving him behind. Brian Cranston was his little brother because his Ranger identity had never been revealed to his family. Brian never understood why his brother abandoned him. More importantly, he had a real problem with his brother coming back and wanting to be a part of his life. He followed them into the den and offered them a seat. Really, Billy? The house is great and all, but why are we here? I don't understand. What is all this about? Philip questioned. He wants you to like him, so I'll be forced to hang out with him because you guys want to. Billy didn't answer. Instead, the phone rang. Let me get that, you guys. Feel free to explore the house. I'll find you when I'm done.
Right. Billy disappeared down the hallway. The 4 friends sat there for a minute before Callie just smiled and got up to explore. Philip shrugged his shoulders and followed. Aren't you even a little bit curious about how your brother got all this? Dante asked Brian. Who cares? If you want to go look around, go ahead. I won't care, Brian scoffed. Dante understood how his friend felt, but he didn't want to pass up the opportunity either. Callie and Philip found their way into a large workout room. They looked both at each other in amazement and then started to look around. There was a boxing ring in the middle of the room, and on the other side of a sparring mat, weight machines lined the floor. And in the adjacent room, tons of cardio equipment lined the walls. Dante opened the door in a very dark room. He walked inside, the door shut behind him. Unable to see, he felt around the walls for a light switch. Clicking it, music came on with lights. Doo-doo-doo. It was an incredible sound system, better than anything he'd ever heard. Brian couldn't help but wonder where the music came from. He followed the noise from down the hall. Callie and Philip met him there. He opened the door to see Dante dancing to the music. When they saw them, he stopped from embarrassment. "Don't stop, you're really good," Callie exclaimed. He just pushed his way out of the room, across the hall, into the next. The others followed. Brian was astonished by what he saw. It was the largest library he'd ever seen. There was millions of books. "There's no way your brother has read all of these," Philip said. "Don't be so sure," Brian smiled. He loved to read. There would have been the room he spent hours if he wanted to be anywhere around his brother. He walked through the room, examining the books on the shelf. "What are you looking for?" Callie asked, and started to look as well. "I've never heard of these books before, like this one. It's at least 1,000 pages. It's called Zordon Effect. Let me see." He pulled the book toward him, but it only tilted. He heard gears moving. The bookcase began to move and revealed a staircase which led underground. Philip didn't think twice. He headed down the stairs. Dante followed. Callie and Brian just looked at each other in disbelief. What could Billy have hidden down here? They each took a deep breath and followed their friends down the stairs.
Why am I the White Ranger and not the Red Ranger? It's not like anyone Billy picks is going to be better trained than I am. I just don't get it. Jacob had been ranting about the Power Rangers, the Ranger powers, since Billy left them. Jessie immediately sat down to do surveillance, her specialty. "Get over it, Jacob. White is an important color. Remember, that's like first year cadet school stuff. A White Ranger is that which demonstrates the better qualities of all the other colors." Jessie tried to cheer her brother up, but it wasn't working. "Yes, here we go. Jacob, come look at this. I was able to patch into the command center. We can see who ends up becoming Rangers with us." Jacob came over to view. The twins watched as four figures entered the dark room, and all the lights came on. Billy was standing there waiting. "It took a little longer than I thought to get you here, but welcome to the command center." "Oh no, you gotta be kidding me." Jacob backed up from the table. "What is it?" Jessie asked, concerned. "I can't believe Billy's going to pick him. I hate him." Jessie turned around to see who he was talking about. She immediately recognized the first boy to enter. Philip Scott was one of the few memories the twins had of Angel Grove. He was a bully in kindergarten, used to beat Jacob up on a regular basis. She was sure he'd grown up since then. "Jacob, it's been almost 15 years. I'm sure he's changed since then." Jacob didn't answer and stared out the window. Jessie knew to leave him alone when he got like this, so she turned around to watch what happens. Billy stood in front of the four bewildered young people. "Billy, what is going on here?" Brian said, and Brian was stunned. What had his brother gotten himself into? The place was vast, and there was more computer equipment and technology than he would know what to do with. "Brian, you and your friends have been chosen for something important. In fact, you were chosen many years ago, and have been training for this day without even knowing it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Observe this viewing screen." He pointed to a screen in front of them that lit up. "This is Nemesis, ruler of the underworld. He has laid dormant since he was locked up 2006 years ago." That would place him at the time of Dante began. Exactly. According to legend, when the keys of hell were taken, they were also used to lock up Nemesis and his demon army. The legend continues to state that when Earth contained as much evil as it did when he was locked up, the locks would be released and he would terrorize our world again, Billy explained. And now the world is that evil again? Phillips raised an eyebrow. Is that so hard to believe? Billy turned to him. He clicked the screen remote again, and images of Earth in turmoil shot across the screen. Millions of people in the world are hungry and dying every day. We fight over money and oil instead of protecting ourselves and the earth in it, and the earth in which we live. We've become selfish and greedy instead of giving and good. What is this mission? Callie spoke up. In short, I'm offering you a chance to be Power Rangers, just like your older brothers and sisters, Billy stated. They were all in shock. Again, the screen clicked and the images of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers filled the screen. They watched in amazement. In front of them, 4 wristwatches appeared on the table. Each of the 4 picked one up and put it on. Just like Jason, Trini, Zach, Kimberly, and myself, you have been chosen to protect Angel Grove and the world. Keep your identity a secret. The power has chosen you, and now so will your gems. He opened the box, and immediately the 4 gems leapt from their resting places and hovered over the 4. Each of them held out their wrists, and the gems absorbed into the watches. Brian accepted the blue power, Callie the yellow, Dante the black, and Philip the red.
Holy shit, that was actually quite sexy. Sorry. Before they could even think about what would happen next, the siren began ringing, whatever the fuck it is, I don't care. Decker, awaken! Billy commanded. Decker program initiated. Good afternoon, Billy and Rangers. My god, that's a really formal greeting, my bloody hell. Decker, let me see the threat on screen. Before them, on screen, was a group of black creatures seared with silver. The silver almost looked as if it was burned into their flesh. Well, that's freaking healthy, my god. Sorry. What are those things? Billy was studying them. It appears Nemesis has arrived. Those are Garrick's, devils that answer only to him. They were headed into Angel Grove Park and followed only by a huge creature of a man and a beast. That is the demon Galactic. He is Nemesis' right-hand man. Rangers, there's no time to waste. You must stop them before they reach the city. Call on your powers, saying, really, that's what it says. Mystic Spirit Ranger form. Go now. The Rangers ran up the stairs. Billy stopped Brian. I hope now you know I just didn't desert you. Brian nodded and ran to help the others. Jacob, come quick! Jacob walked over to his sister and saw Galactic and his minions attacking the park. Why is it always the park? Seriously, my god. We should help them, Jesse demanded. Not yet. Let's see if the others can do first. Let's see what the others can do first. Nemesis doesn't need to know where there are 6 Rangers quite yet. Let's see if they can handle it. But, Jesse started. No buts. Billy gave us orders, and we follow it. He is our superior. I feel sorry for them having him as a superior. Bloody Nora. Wait, I have to read all this? Really? Fucking hell. My god. In the park, citizens of Angel Grove ran in disbelief. You really think they wouldn't be running in disbelief? Bloody hell. We've seen it all over again. That their city was once again being attacked. Really? Again? Oh my god, this must be like a normal Tuesday for them. As so many were running away, the 4 heroes ran toward them. Galactic, stop right here! Hold on. Who is going to stop me? The 7-foot man with huge muscles of steel said. We are, the 4 began. Ready. Once I faced, the other 3 people answered. Anyone else? Do I really have to do the morphing call? Oh, fuck it. Mystic Spirit Ranger form! Obviously, I am completely not taking this seriously. 4 Galactic stood. 4 Power Rangers. His surprise was obvious, but he would not turn back. Well, he's fucked then. Sorry. Gyrax, get them. The first attack began. All four rangers fought bravely. Each of them reached for their mystic swords. Is that a euphemism? To plow through the Gyrax. I'm seriously saying a euphemism here. Galactic, seeing that his Gyrax were not winning, conjured up a demon from the water named Aquam. Billy knew this was too much for the Rangers for their first battle. He could tell they were nervous about the monster. He only had one choice. He contacted the twins. Fantastic plan, my god. Wonderful leadership here, mate. Bloody hell, sorry.
The red and blue ranger fought Argum and Galactic, but kept getting thrown down. Black and yellow continued to knock out their blast. The Garroks just seemed to keep coming. The rangers were overwhelmed. The sky began to darken and lightning shot through the sky. A strong wind blew and pushed the evil mongrels away from the rangers. When the rangers looked up, they saw standing before them two of their own kind, in white and pink. The white ranger pulled out a staff, and a pink a whip. The others watched in awe as they mauled through the Garroks and went after Agua and leaving Galactic. Before Galactic with everything they had, he pulled back saying, "It appears we have underestimated you humans." What happened again? He disappeared. The four looked over to the white and pink rangers and watched as they combined their weapons into a slingshot attack that took out Agua and incinerated him. The weather cleared and the six rangers stood there staring at each other. The twins did not intend to reveal their identities just yet. That would be another day. Twins ninja streaked away from the park, leaving the others to wonder their identities. End of episode 1.
Huzzah. Seriously? They actually ninja streaked? For real? So, like, they go from, like, normal people to ninjas within 2 minutes?
It's Power Rangers. They did that in Mighty Morphin multiple times.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But yes, Mystic Spirit Rangers is definitely worthwhile fan fiction to go check out and read. The link will be down in the description below if you'd like to check it out. There are a lot of good moments in there. I have read through the entire series, and as they stated, the ninja streaking, it is in their blood, so deal with it.
Do I have to?
Yes, you have to deal with it.
Oh, fair play, fair play. So, what's on the next part of the agenda, darlings?
The next part of the meeting is the general discussion. And to take it, go the King of Spades.
Thank you, big guy. But yes, today's discussion, I decided, it's been a debate, we've been having it on Skype between us for a while now. Which looks better? There's guys in suits or the CGI when it comes to the Zords?
Guys in suits?
Yes, like for example, and I hate to break this to you and ruin your childhood, but the guy who, basically like the Megazord in Mighty Morphin, that was a guy in a suit dressed as a Megazord. It wasn't a real giant monster or giant robot or anything like that. It was guys in suits.
Really? I never knew that.
Whereas
I
nowadays,
want to cosplay as that now.
That's actually why
Yeah.
whenever you see the Megazord form up in an MMPR episode, it's actually usually they use the toy models, so they might have had larger models that actually form the Zord, and then as soon as it stands up to its full height, the thing automatically like there's a flash, and then all of a sudden it can move and has joints and shit. That's because it transfers from the toys to the guy in the suit.
yes,
Ah.
which, like I said, everyone's different. I'm curious, I'll let one of you guys go first. What do you prefer, the guys in the suits or the shitty CGI? Go.
You know, I was hoping you would have meant, like, Armani suits, because I would have gone with that.
Yes,
Uh,
we went what looks better, CGI Zord or you when you're out, when you're out in the town in your silk silver suit?
Okay, I do not have a silk silver suit. We've been over this.
No, come on, Tom. We can't all afford to have Gerald personally tailor our silk suit.
He has tidy whities to match.
With your
What
silver
the
Geeky
fuck?
loafers.
What
But how
the
about you?
fuck are you
To
guys
bring
on?
this round, how about you, big guy? What's your opinions on the Zord looks?
I don't really have an opinion. just like Zords. I don't really mind whether they're CGI or costumes. If it works, it works.
This is the part where I would normally key up and say fanboy, but seeing as how he's my boss, I still want to be introduced next podcast as moderator, King of Spades.
Alright, GPO, go. What's your verdict? And if you even quote that guy with the glasses, I swear to God I will slap you in the face so hard that your mama ain't gonna recognize you with that mustache.
Sounds hot. Make sure to video record it.
Thanks, will do.
Okay, then you two can take your kinky sex out of the podcast. Anyway,
I have
personally,
no idea what you're talking about.
Personally, I think it depends on what the Zords are meant to be. For example, in a season like not necessarily Wild Force, but in seasons like Jungle Fury, where the Zords are meant to be spirits, that's a little harder to depict with a guy in a suit. It looks better CGI'd, because it's supposed to be like the spirits of them uniting everything, and it looks better with the CGI. Whereas if it's supposed to be like straight up robotics and whatnot, then yeah, with the guy in the suit, you got a lot more natural looking movement on it. The fights look more natural. I mean, they might not be able to do as much fancy stuff like jumping in the air and flying around and crap, but the fights look a little more realistic.
And
So I think it depends on what the Zords are meant to be based upon.
see, I disagree with that. Ironically, even more so based on what you said with like Jungle Fury or something where they're meant to be animals. If they're meant to be animals, they should look more organic. Whereas if it's CGI, it looks so like it doesn't belong. At least that's my opinion on that. I always think the suits look so more organic. It's like if I watch a Megazord fight from the original MMPR, even to this day, I'm like, that looks cool. I go back and I like the series, as people will know. I like the series Dino Thunder. If I go and watch their Dinosaur Zord, I'm like, the fuck? It's bad CGI. I've seen better CGI in shows like Reboot.
Oh man, that's just like a blast from the past. And now we go to the man with the incredibly sexy voice. No, I'm not talking about myself. Onlyne, go, baby, go.
Okay,
Romance
well,
much?
at the moment, I can't really recall what the CGI transformations or just like the overall design CGI really looks like. Just off my like just thinking about it right now, I can't really remember. But as far as the guy in the suit, I actually prefer that, just because I mean, it's a little bit biased because, like I said, I can't really remember the CGI look, but I've always been more partial to, like, you know, Godzilla and just the kaiju way of doing giant monsters and giant robots and, you know, Ultraman and whatnot. I've always been more accustomed to that, so just based on that. But I'm open-minded, so I mean, like, if they're able to do it right, then I'm okay with it. But from what I've seen, just with like more the basic sequence of them transforming and creating the Megazord and combining and whatnot, that it's like, I mean, it can be done better, but I mean, I'm not really complaining. I just prefer, you know, the guy in the suit. So it's a little half and half, but mostly the guy in the suit, basically.
Awesome. Dude, I gotta ask, just completely off topic for a moment, is that your natural voice, or is it put on?
No, I actually talk like this whenever I'm no.
That's his voice because he was sliced in half by Obi-Wan and left to burn. And then he got a suit on and started to talk like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so it's James Earl Jones, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yay! Awesome. Sorry, yo,
Long
Geek.
live the king.
Okay.
Geeks, you wanna go,
Yeah.
girl?
Yeah, well, see, I don't have a problem with CGI. It's just that generally I notice the CGI that I like, and like this is just talking general CGI, but like it's better when it's for not moving things. CGI is better when it stands still, like for backgrounds and shit. Like it just when like you see CGI, like I feel like, and you got like Zords and shit, like when you have the suit ones and they get like hit and like you have like the dust and stuff on the suit, I feel like it's more prevalent and like more like accurately put in like the suit form rather than the CGI. like like when they get like hit and are wounded or something, and like because otherwise the suit would be instantly clean, like, and then you have to like think about a self-cleaning factor in the suit or some weird shit like that. And I just like it better because like I like to think that someone actually is in there and it makes it more actiony. I feel like I'm in the zone more, but then that's just like me being a little kid, I guess, because that's what I kind of grew up on.
And I could agree with that. It's like when you look at movies with CGI, I've mentioned before now I hate CGI, where it's CGI for the sake of it. For example, as I mentioned there with Star Wars, you watch the original trilogy, awesome with all the models they made, you watch the new ones, it looks like CGI. Whereas, to use a reference to how I think they could do the Zord in the future, and I believe our head admin might agree with this because he was kind of talking about something similar the other day. We've all seen Lord of the Rings and the horrible, horrible, horrible King Kong film made by the same guy. But basically, if they could use the CGI like that, it would be cool. Where it's a guy in a suit doing the actions, matching it all out in a realistic-ish suit, and then they just use CGI to touch it up so it becomes even more organic and real.
Like
That
Gollum or
works.
something.
That works, yeah, like Gollum, or how they did King Kong himself. I mean, imagine Gold Phoenix Ranger when you were talking about animals. Imagine the ape sword looking like King Kong.
That would be interesting.
Dude.
That's also how they did Heavy Rain in that new one, Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, it's motion capture.
Yep.
Mhm.
Whereas just CGI effects themselves can also look good for robots. Example, Transformers. While the films 2 and 3 are definitely horrible, we all agree on that. There's you can't fault the fact Optimus Prime does still look cool.
Yeah.
He still looks cool. They look cool. If the Zords looked like that, that would be awesome. My only problem with the CGI really is when they use it, it's on such a small budget.
Yeah.
It looks so horrible and out of place. It's like, huh? Did you just make this on your computer in Photoshop or some shit?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say though, because I mean, even if they were on a budget of like Fox, Fox Network or ABC kind of budget, like where they get a huge budget just because it's on cable TV. I still don't think they would even be able to pull off that kind of CGI. That's kind of the only thing you would really see in cinema, as amazing as it would be. And I know, I mean, if they ever did do a movie of Power Rangers, that's what everybody would be expecting to see, that kind of CGI for Megazords and whatnot. And right now, it's like that's something that it seems it's like a pipe dream for Power Rangers. If they're going to use CGI, you would want them to go all out with it and not, shortchange it because of the budget. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like they should just stick with the guy in the suit, because for one, less money having to be spent on the budget from the budget on CGI, and just sticking to the basics and not having to shortchange it, basically.
Exactly. Like Gold Phoenix mentioned with MMPR, stick to using the models and the guy in the suit. It looks better. If you can't afford good looking CGI, don't use it or it looks worse.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned with films, we've touched upon that before in discussions on Skype and stuff when we've all been talking. Ironically, me and Comrade Decade was mentioned a while ago when we were talking. Hi, Comrade. But yeah, we mentioned when we were talking that we like the idea of something like Transformers style CGI for the Zords, and for the suit something like the Amazing Spider-Man costume, or maybe like the Iron Man suit, somewhere in between those two. That'd look awesome. I want them to do that. I kind of wanted, and this is an unpopular opinion to say on a Power Ranger board, I wanted Power Rangers to be cancelled once Disney had decided no more RPM, just so it would get rebooted as a film series like all the other
Yes.
kids shows and stuff do. I wanted that.
I wanted that too. I definitely wanted that 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, or I was also behind. Ironically, and this is CGI. I was behind the idea of a Power Rangers animated series. If they did it like Clone Wars, that would be awesome. And then you can bring back people like Billy without having to get David Yost, because it doesn't matter. He's a CGI version.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
I just still think CGI should be for like scenery and stuff. Like have you ever seen like Thor when they showed like Asgard CGI? That was fucking awesome. but like CGI for your face, like in Tron when they had Jeff Bridges or whatever. Yeah, and they had his face like CGI'd, like and stuff. That looked like shit. It looked like you took like a little you know how like the putties look in frickin' Power Rangers. That's how his face looked.
It was
It looked like that.
clay,
Oh, his face didn't look that bad. It looked
It looked
fake,
like-
but it felt suitable in
It looked like it
the
was made
fact
out of
it was
clay.
it looked
It
fake.
did.
It looked fake, but it looked like it blended into the world because they were inside a fake world for Tron.
No,
It
no, no.
worked.
The world looked like awesome, but it looked like they literally made his face out of clay or putty and then put it on there. Like his body looked fine, but just his face.
So it looked like GPR's face? Is that what you're saying?
Aww. No way. His face at least looks real.
Real
the reason for
ugly.
that
The dum dum ding.
Actually, the reason for that stage is because what they did was they first had Jeff Bridges act the scene out. Then they had a stand-in come in who was dressed in the suit, and he walked around and redid what Jeff Bridges did while he had a green screen mask over his head, and then they CGI'd the head on afterward.
Well,
Yeah.
we know not to do that now.
So it was kind of like The Crow with Brandon Lee dying and all that kind of thing.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
cool.
yeah, when he died in real life, and it was he was,
Yeah.
there. They had to put a stand in for him, basically.
hmm Anyone else seen The Crow, by the way?
Yep,
good movie.
I've seen. I hate to say this, but I've seen every Crow film, even the one starring Trini.
Oh God.
Wow.
I have them all as well.
Really?
Yep.
Can I borrow? Can you be?
He had a
can you
lot of
mail-
DVDs, so that's not really saying much.
Can I mail them to you? No.
Damn.
Oh, throw him in the post and send him over. He doesn't live that far from you.
He doesn't live
Sort
that
of.
far to me, but no, I'm not lending my DVDs through post.
Fair play,
I
yeah.
I am not love film.
Are you not? Awesome. Alright, cool. Pretty
But
good
no,
opinions there.
Yeah, like I said,
Anybody
I have them all, including the one with Angel as well, which
Nice.
So does anybody else have anything to say on the discussion of CGI versus human Zords?
Has everyone spoke?
I believe we all put our opinion out there.
Awesome.
Real costumes, yay!
Nerd.
I say we put it to a vote. There's 6 of us. Let's put it to a vote. I vote human.
What?
Kage said human v. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Kurama, whatever he's called, said CGI versus human, and I said let's all vote to see whether to wrap it all up. I voted for human.
Next in this debate, this one goes to the geeky girl. Oh,
Human costumes. No CGI.
and now the GPR that nobody cares about, but we have to.
We all love GPR.
I know, but still.
I feel like you should have your own cereal with that kind of voice.
That's only because he's doing his impression of Count Chocula.
I know, that's what I was thinking of.
Never mind, I don't even know who that is, but anyway. Jeep, go.
He's a vampire that sells a chocolate flavored cereal.
You want Simon to use his voice for breakfast cereal? Since when did they come out with Homo Berry?
Oh!
Charmed, I'm sure.
They have Blueberry, isn't that close?
Okay.
Now the frame, Mary. But anyway,
Okay,
but yes, back to the topic at hand. I'd say, yeah, most cases probably the suits. I can understand there are a few instances where, depending on what the Zords are supposed to be based upon, it might potentially look not necessarily better, but more believable as CGI. Like, if it was supposed to be a spirit turning into a Zord, then at least it has to be CGI to a point. Although then it can switch to a dude in a suit once it's the assembled Megazord, yes. But yeah, with the guys in the suits, it does look like a more realistic fight. So I'd go with that.
And now to this chocolate bear or the Kurama, pick one. I don't care which one.
Okay, well,
Romance.
I needed to answer the phone for a quick second. So can someone fill me in on what the question was again?
Just we were just taking a vote. What do you prefer, Human Zord or CGI Zord?
Definitely Human Zord. Yeah.
Oh no, the big boss. That is not Japanese weight. It is merely on the fact that he runs the board. Go, Kurama.
Wrap it up with your vote and then take us out there, Kurama.
Hang on.
Right.
We also need Simon's vote.
Yeah, Simon, go first.
Oh, right,
Simon
right.
votes for rainbows.
I do not get a break here, do I?
Cause you are Pegasus, you're Pegasus.
Okay, I gotta go. Okay, me personally, I love the sort of the golem effect slash devil style to it, you know, of okay, by devil style, anyone here played DMC 3 or 4?
Yes, and
Yes,
yes.
I played both.
Good man. They actually did the voice in mocap for that one, so yeah, I love that style.
Yes, but we meant for the Zords themselves, as they haven't actually come anywhere near Golem-style Zords yet, in terms of effects.
Oh, come on, but damn, I forgot about that. But yeah,
They
it
look,
would.
they look worse than Toy Story 1.
Wow.
That was the first use of CGI, so I could give him a break for that.
Oh,
Well, in all fairness, in Megaforce here, Alpha's equivalent Tensu is CGI.
And Toy Story had an excuse. It was supposed to be about toys, so therefore it wasn't supposed to necessarily be real. Whereas if they had a different plot and different movie altogether, it might have not looked the same.
and I gotta go for
Whereas
the
Yeah, but
Power
that Toy
Rangers
Story's
is,
animation is actually good.
is
That's
a
different.
documentary.
I gotta go for the human. Wow,
And
that
so
was the
do
most
I.
plain answer ever.
And Kage went with the human. It's
Yay.
unanimous. We
Kurama.
all voted the humans.
Huzzah! Now, to anyone who does it,
Human, as some
But
people say.
I do have
What are
to
you, a
agree.
Ferengi?
Human.
I
for
do
what?
have to agree with Gold Phoenix though. When CGI is needed, or when it actually looks good, then it would probably be useful. But other than that, humans all the way. It's where the better
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Because I have nothing wrong. I have no problems with CGI. It's just like
It
if
has a
it's ever done.
place.
Yeah, exactly. It has to.
Yeah.
It has a
has to
place where
feel
you use
right
it and
for
has a place where you do other stuff.
Yeah, basically, when it comes to movies and stuff like that, CGI, it's like making like I've mentioned in the past, it's like cooking a meal. CGI is the garnish to make the meal look good. If you come out with a whole plate of garnish, people get pissed.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Makes
To
me
anyone who
hungry.
disagrees,
What are you gonna cook me?
Yeah.
to anyone who disagrees on that one or has any other further opinions, please, by all means, leave your angry comments. Direct them to me if you like. I'm really not gonna give a shit. Ah.
Yes. Please please, we have a special place for all your comments. See the delete folder.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that pretty much wraps up our podcast today. If you would like to come and visit us over at Ranger Vision, we will be leaving the link down below in the description. We will also be leaving the links for our Facebook, our Twitter, our Tumblr, and our DeviantArt if you'd like to have a look at those as well.
Wait, we
Come
actually
and
have all
like
that
us
shit?
on Facebook, follow us
Yes,
on Twitter.
yes, we have all that shit.
Yes, we have all that shit.
That's why if you come to rangevision.com and look at those handy buttons across the nav bar at the top of the page, you'll see links to all those.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, and please do if
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
and as I just want to also point out, as on the podcast committee, we have also said if you leave your comments below, next podcast when we go to film it, we will handpick some of them and we will actually address them and read them out on the air.
If they're really good, we'll have Simey say it, just because his voice is more awesome.
There you go.
It's called Britishness. Only if I get to do it with online though, because then it'll just be, dude, quick. It'll be fabulous warfare.
Fabulous!
Yes.
Alright,
But
ladies and
continue,
gentlemen,
Fallen
well,
Angel.
that pretty much wraps it up. So, as GPR first stated, if it's your vision, then it's our vision. It's Ranger Vision.
Corny.
But effective.